I'm using the Loops and Threads Knit Quick Knitting Loom Set. In this loom set you'll get your 4, plus you'll get your hook and your needle. The only other supplies you'll need is a pair of scissors for cutting your yarn. And today I'm going to be using Loops and Threads Country Loom. Super bulky, number 6. I will start my ball of wool by finding the very middle of the ball and pulling it out from the middle. You'll sometimes get a big chunk of it, but that's okay. And then when you pull out the middle, just find your end, and this will really help from your ball from not rolling all over. So grab your yarn and leave a bit of a tail. You're going to make a slip knot by just putting your yarn over your 2 fingers, bringing it around, crossing it over, come up through the hole, using your thumb, pull your loop, move your fingers, and pull the 2 pieces together and you've made a slip knot. You just hold on to the knot and grab the loose tail. If you pull on that tail, it will tighten up for you. Just attach that to the peg on the outside of your loom using the tail and just cinch it up, and it's on the peg. Now we're ready to start knitting. Now I am left-handed, so I'm going to be using my hook in the left hand. So I'm going to form my E stitches going to the left. I'm actually working clockwise. If you're right-handed, you'll be holding it in your right hand and you'll be moving this way. So let's say if you're right-handed, I'm going to take the wool on this side. I'd be going to the back, going around, back, going around, back, going around. And you would continue along the whole way. But I'm left-handed, so I'm going to go this way. So around. And just in case it doesn't slip off on you, you can just hold your finger just as a guide, like I did there, and now you don't have to go back to the beginning. You can continue on, just using my finger to hold it in place so it doesn't slip off. Okay, now I'm at my last peg, one wrapping, and you'll notice that on this side you've got your circle of wool. That's what's forming the E, what they call it the E stitch. And on the inside you'll see that all your line of wool is going straight across. So you'll know you've got it right if you've got your line of wool on the inside. That is your wrong side, this is your right side. Okay, so now that you've got your last peg, you'll know this is your last peg because that's where we've tied off on our outside peg on the rim. So now we're just going to go around one more time. I find that this method is faster if you actually do all your wrapping first and then come back with your hook and do your knitting, because then you're just doing one motion at a time and it's faster that way. Back to my last peg. This is my last wrapping. I'm going to release the wool that I've tied on here because it's secure enough as it is now. So we can take this off. Because what I'm going to do is I want to secure this end now. So I'm just taking the wool and kind of turning it around and then hooking it onto the peg just enough that it locks it in place. It's not a tight knot, that's all you need. So now we're ready for our first stitch. We're going to take our hook, go down to the bottom and bring it over the top one. From the bottom and over the top. bottom over the top. And continue that all the way around till you get to that first peg again. And I'm back to my last stitch. So over, release from your peg, and now you're just going to go around again and repeat that process for every row. And I've gone around one more time. So one more wrapping and wrapping over my last peg. Again, what I'm doing is I'm just taking the wool and I'm turning it around, making a circle and slipping it on to the peg. It just locks it enough in place so now I can go around and do my knitting again without worrying that that's going to come loose. And around you go again. Continue like that until you've used almost your whole ball of wool, leaving a few yards for your bind off, and we'll see you when I get there. I wanted to use the whole ball of yarn for this cowl, and this is what I ended up with for my length. And here's the pattern. It's loose, but still bulky enough to have it nice and warm for a beautiful cowl. So now I'm going to show you how I'm going to bind off. This is what I had left over from my ball of yarn. We probably don't need that much to bind off with, but just in case we've got that to work with. So this is my last stitch I had, and I'm using this peg just to secure my wool from this last stitch. This is my very first stitch I made, and I'm going to pull the second stitch onto the first peg. So using your hook, we're going to take it off the second one and we're going to guide it over the first one, and you will probably need your fingers just to help you get that over that peg because it is on the tight side now. So now that you've got that over there, you're going to take your bottom loop and bring it over. Next step, take that loop now and bring it over onto the first peg again. And again, you probably need your fingers to guide it over. All right, there's your first bind off. Now we're going to go to this stitch. Take this one off the peg and work it over this peg. Bring the bottom over that loop. Now take this loop and bring it back over to the first peg using your fingers to bring it over. Continue all the way around. Now we're on our last stitch, so I'm going to cut my yarn, remove it off my little peg here, and then take your last stitch off. And put your end through your loop and pull to fasten. Find your needle that came with your kit, fold it over your needle, pull down with your thumb and finger, slip it off, and then guide it through the eye of the needle. And then you're just going to weave it in and out. And pull your yarn through. Just give it a little pull. And then I like to just come back the other way so it doesn't come out again. Pull it back through, give it a tug, and snip off your end. And do the same with your other end. Folding it over the eye of the needle. Hold down tight with your thumb finger, slip it off, through the eye of the needle, pull through, and weave through your ends. Thanks for watching. I hope you had fun and you learned something about making cowls, an easy project from working on the loom. If you'd like to watch more videos, just click over here. And if you'd like to subscribe to Crafty Patty, just click down here. I'm off for a walk. I've got my cowl to keep me warm, really warm, really warm. I hope you enjoyed those. Make lots for your friends and family. Great for gifts. And we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.